Welcome to the Power Up Brothers podcast, where we all sound the same and Quentin's points don't matter, especially if they're about our new camera.
That's not good.
Hey, new
It's a
camera.
webcam.
This looks like a live stream from a morgue. Oh.
Quentin here. I'm fine, babe.
This is Ethan. I'm gonna go.
Don't worry, Devin's here. This is time. Let's rock and roll.
Welcome to the Power Up Brothers podcast, where our points haven't mattered and we've sounded the same for 1 year.
It's back.
A whole year?
50 whole years.
50 years.
Yeah,
The table's back.
I know.
What
Yeah,
happened,
I know.
guys?
Back by unpopular demand.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
The
Devin
old
put
table.
this table up, and I immediately had a panic attack, followed by a seizure. I threw up as I rolled around on
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
It's right over
I
there.
became incontinent.
Yeah.
You were
I-
already in conflict.
I had to be resuscitated.
What's crazy is all this happened a year before I put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was
All
in
this
my
happened the first time you put it
it
up.
was
Yeah, you just knew
it was
it was
at the Bass
happening,
Pro
yeah.
Shop where this went down, but the thing is that I knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
we
did.
all did.
Yeah.
We all
So
No.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, we thought for our anniversary episode,
Yeah.
why not bring back how we look?
We get less comfortable.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you guys haven't
Real
seen the other
uncomfortable.
49 episodes, which
Right.
only 46 of are on the channel
right now.
More about that later. Maybe later.
Maybe.
No, yeah,
We'll see if we get
this is
around
how we used to sit.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how we'll keep sitting.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know
Maybe-
what I did with the couches. I lost them.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're gone.
you know, this reminds me of how when we would complain about
Yeah.
being in the morgue where
Yeah.
it was cold and damp and disgusting,
Yeah.
and our
Right.
producer was Italian at the
We
time,
should put a
and that was
filter on
uncomfortable.
this video so it looks cold
Like the
and damp
morgue?
and
We just like
disgusting.
we
Yeah.
put a black box over where Ethan is.
Yeah,
you know.
he's
Here's the
completely
thing:
in shadow.
he's draped in shadow.
One episode, we should turn all those lights off so
Yeah.
that Ethan
We
is
get the
we
real
now
shadow.
can think about
great.
the positives here. We're not in a cold, damp,
No.
filthy, not up
We're in
to
a
code
beautiful
housing.
studio.
And
Somebody's washed this blanket recently.
Yeah.
our producer is no longer of Italian descent. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not.
No.
However, I don't like him, and I don't want him
Oh.
living in my neighborhood
Oh.
or working on my podcast. Okay?
But speaking of producers, what we didn't have all
At the
those
time.
years ago is Harrison.
Producer
We have
Harrison.
now.
Look, it's producer Harrison. He's
Harrison's
here.
awake. He's so awake.
He's
and
so
awake.
He's
I'm
so
definitely not operating on 3
He's
hours.
so
People who are
energetic.
awake, he is one of them.
He's
He
one of
is-
them.
He's the wokest guy.
He's the
now.
most recent addition to people who are awake.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's probably in the
Yes,
world
probably.
right now.
Definitely.
So, but
Yeah.
looking at all those circumstances, we can think about how while all of that was terrible, and we don't
Right.
want to go back to that ever
No,
again.
No.
The table was not so bad.
Nice.
No,
Yeah.
we liked
Table
the
was
table.
not so bad.
Yeah, what's funny is, so if you watch we'll talk about it later, but we'll talk about it later. What are we doing today,
Yeah.
guys? We're doing some.
I think
We're
we're
doing
done.
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
I think
we're
that
done.
about
That was
wraps
it.
it up.
Thank you
That
guys
about
for
wraps it
watching.
up.
All right,
Bye.
I think we're done.
See ya.
Happy 50th
Get serious,
anniversary.
guys.
No, yeah,
the table
no.
is back. We
Oh,
got
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
We're
I
a
haven't-
legitimate news show,
I
bringing
haven't-
you the hard-hitting truths.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say?
Is a tomato a
Yeah.
vegetable or delicious?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say the news? All
Guys,
right.
welcome to the news.
That's right, we
We've
have
done
news.
50 of these, and we've always had the news. Yeah.
Shame they're out.
No, we
Shame
haven't.
nothing happened.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Do you guys? Here's a pop quiz for you guys. Do you know which was the first episode that I did the news?
Our
Breaking
fourth,
for the thing
our
again.
fourth
I think it was
episode.
10.
No.
Wasn't it 10?
It was this episode.
I like how Devin asks a question and doesn't,
I did not
doesn't
know the
already know
answer.
the answer.
I didn't
Do
know
you
the
guys
answer.
know?
Actually, I believe it was.
Dora the
He was
Explorer
genuinely asking, do you guys
Yeah,
know?
he's wondering.
Because
Yeah.
Do you need the map to pop out and tell you?
Yeah. No, I need that little paper clip from Microsoft to pop out. Guys, if you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. If you don't know, we're 4 actual brothers, and we're not sure where Harrison comes from, but he's
Germany,
just
right?
kind of always
Is
been there
Yeah.
for the past 20 years.
At some point.
No, but we like talking about video games. We play video games sometimes. If you like what we do, subscribe.
Okay, I was about to say, I should clarify. I do not like to talk about video games. I did not want this to be a video game podcast, and I do not play video games.
There has to be one sane person.
There needs to be one sane person on the podcast.
How does Quentin qualify?
Okay, yeah.
Here's how the balance works out. We all enjoy talking about video games, and
Yeah.
then we also choose to talk about them. And Quentin
Yeah.
does not enjoy talking about video
No.
games, and he also doesn't choose
No.
because
We
both
make
we
him.
force him and he is compelled by the voices inside of him
Yeah.
to endlessly talk about video games, specifically Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube.
Yes.
Exactly.
Man, I literally when I last went through Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the
Right.
GameCube.
Yep.
Okay, I played it on the Dreamcast, and then I played it the DX version, and I played the PC version.
And
Right.
you vomited. And you
I
had a
vomited, I
seizure.
threw up, I had a seizure, I
Panic
lost
attack.
control
Yeah.
of my faculties. This was at the Bass Pro Shop.
Right.
They were also upset.
We can
Big the
cut
Cat
all this,
was
right,
there.
Harrison?
Yeah.
Like that can all.
Big the Cat.
Here, I'll
was
do
there.
this.
Why
for
cut
you.
Well,
gold?
because Big the Cat fishes.
He does.
Yeah.
It's true.
You didn't get
Yeah.
the connection.
No, I
Because
didn't.
you didn't play that game 3 times in a row.
Not in a row. I have played it much more than
Yeah.
3 times.
Was it good? Did you have fun playing it?
No,
Don't ask him.
I,
Stop asking him Sonic Adventure
didn't
questions.
have fun
Ethan.
playing
You're
it.
triggering him.
It's a callback to how he used to always
No,
talk
true.
about
Yeah,
Sonic.
it was
it's a
always-
callback to
yeah.
how he always used to be traumatized and screaming and running around the house naked.
Here's the
Used to
thing.
be.
I should just mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Harrison has to deal with me being traumatized and running around the house
True.
naked. Here's
Thanks
the
for
thing.
carrying that burden.
Yeah,
Harrison.
you're
Living with
welcome.
Quentin
Your team
now.
player.
Yeah.
He now has to hear a knock on his door, and when he goes, "What? I'm trying to sleep," and he hears, "Listen, the stages with Big the Cat are actually not the worst ones. The ones with Amy are worse."
I was going to say he just
That's
hears the
actually
Big the Cat
facts.
theme.
He hears.
I just thank God it's not the
Fire.
police knocking on my door.
Yes.
Sometimes it is.
You know what Sonic Adventure 2 wasn't at, thank goodness, was the most recent Nintendo Direct.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Oh, right.
Oh, thank God.
Shigimomo heard it was our 1-year anniversary and
Yeah.
felt bad that for the first 7 episodes of this podcast, nothing was happening.
Nothing.
And he was
So,
like, no, something's
right.
going to happen. We had a Nintendo Direct, and the longest in history, 60 minutes.
Yeah,
So
but-
here's the
right.
deal.
Mhm.
I have not seen this Nintendo Direct
know.
because I worked
wait,
a
classic.
ridiculous
You haven't?
shift.
I have.
Okay,
I watched
you
it at
have-
work.
I worked
I
a
watched it at
ridiculous
work.
shift today. So
Yeah.
I am coming in completely spent.
He's blind.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Shigimomo might not like us that much because it was all sloppa, okay, at the Nintendo Direct.
I want to hear.
And also the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
It was slop, sloppa, and slopparaga.
But not the
It
virtual
was yes.
boy.
We ended with Slopparaga. Okay,
Right.
that was the final, most
Slopparaga.
powerful kind of slop that we had.
they
Right.
combined all of them
And
and cast them all at the same time.
They cast them all at the same
Yes.
time, and also the Virtual Boy was there.
They charged up and cast
Is that a good place
I
to
was very
start?
confused when someone told me the Virtual Boy was there.
So
Yeah.
that was that we were watching with a buddy of ours, and we thought it was like a joke.
We thought it was a gag.
We thought that outline for NSO looks like a Virtual Boy. That's funny. I wonder what it. No, it's a
It's a
Virtual
Virtual Boy.
And
As
mind
in,
you,
you-
it's the
as in,
physical
you
Virtual
cannot
Boy.
play it. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. If you boot
Without-
a game
yeah.
up,
Mhm.
it will be like 2 separate images. It won't
Yeah.
look right unless you put either the cardboard Virtual Boy that they
Or the
sell
full
or the
physical one.
literal.
Yeah.
Like it looks just like a Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
You stick your Switch.
You could also
No, it's
make
it's
your
like
own.
it's like 1-to-1. The Virtual
1-to-1,
Boy.
yeah.
You know
it's a
how like
1-to-1
they had
Virtual Boy.
they had the Super Nintendo controller that looks just like the original.
Right,
Same
yeah.
with N64. Naturally, the next step was Virtual Boy.
was just a virtual
So
boy.
I should just say,
'Cause everyone's been asking for more GameCube
Yeah.
games, and they've been asking for.
Yeah.
So let's give them Virtual.
I think
Boy.
that I'm
also
the-
shocking that it doesn't have a controller attached to it. You just have to
you
use
use
your
the
Switch
Joy-Cons.
controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a.
I think I'm the only
But so
person here that has
iconic.
ever owned a Virtual Boy, and I've
Probably.
played a Virtual Boy quite a lot.
Yeah.
And what I will say
You are a
is,
poor,
is
unfortunate
that
soul,
there's
yes.
there's two things to consider here. One, the Virtual Boy is underappreciated in that the games on it are good. It's just a terrible, stupid format that no one should have
no,
ever
it
thought
is
was a good idea.
I've played Virtual Boy games.
There's-
They're very fun.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
pretty good virtual. And actually, like I was telling Ethan, the stereoscopic 3D is applied pretty well in certain games.
I think so.
Like especially in Mario Tennis, where the ball's kind of
Mario's Tennis.
Yes, which is coming to this. That's one of the 17, 13 games, right?
14 titles.
14 titles. I think that's all the Virtual Boy had.
Almost.
I don't know. It's
But-
close, yeah.
But pretty underrated console. That's one.
Yeah.
And two, the biggest complaint people had is that they get migraines or headaches.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have played quite a bit of Virtual Boy, never once got a headache, which tells me that those who complain about that, peanut allergy, too weak. Okay,
Yeah.
you either need to get
They
some.
couldn't hack it.
They just couldn't hack
They
it.
couldn't hack it.
right? So when I saw the
Right.
Virtual Boy in the Direct, I was like, "Oh, look at that!"
I had an allergic reaction and died. briefly.
You went full peanut allergy.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I said, "Oh, look at that, Nintendo! You got one thing right.
that was their one thing, right?
The one thing they got right was bringing back the Virtual
Well,
Boy."
they kicked off for you, Ethan, and for you, audience.
Yes.
for every sane person in the world.
No, they kicked off the Direct with the Mario 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it was more tame than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
They weren't
right.
doing anything too crazy. They revealed
No.
the title of the next movie, which is Mario
The
Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy movie.
And so
No, they are doing something crazy.
Gal-
The craziest thing they could have done is not announce a new Mario game, and they
it
did.
is a little bit
so
crazy.
They
No.
announced that you could play
Mario
Mario,
Galaxy.
games on the Switch 2, that you could already play
you could
on the
already
Switch
play.
2.
yes,
That was
so
a great scene where he
there
was
you
like,
go.
"There's lots of Mario games on the Switch too. If you haven't played one, try it out."
try it out.
No, but they
already
also
released them.
That was
they announced
stupid.
Mario Galaxy
Yeah.
1 and 2 are coming in a bundle,
Okay.
similar to Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except much more expensive.
Similar
Not
to the
really,
Mario
it's
3D All
$10
Stars.
more expensive.
How expensive is the bundle?
So I don't know why, but they are $39.99 on their own, but then they're only $69.99.
So this
together.
so
So you literally save.
$10 by buying the.
So the game has
Okay.
Joy-Con controls. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Does it have where you don't have to do the waggle? I don't remember.
yeah, why? You
It-
can just
Yeah, it has.
You-
Okay,
you, can you can play
Yeah.
them in portable.
new
or-
new control scheme.
Yeah.
So there's this, and this is not a recommendation. This is just a statement of fact.
Okay.
For, just about 10 years,
Right.
one has had the ability
no.
to play Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2
Right.
on their home computer.
I don't know
Okay.
what that is.
I don't know
Okay,
what
What is
that
that?
and
is.
for
What?
quite a long time.
Is it like an abacus?
Are those like the ones at the library?
Yes, the
You
ones
know,
at the
computer. I
library
can
that
put that on
perverts use, right?
Perverts used to play Mario Galaxy.
Exactly.
One's here right now.
I saw him there. I saw you there last week.
playing Mario Galaxy.
So you can play that, and for a long time, you've been able to put 4K texture packs in.
Yeah.
You could
Okay.
also not only hook up a Joy-Con to this and use
Okay.
motion controls,
Right.
but
That
you
sounds
could also,
like a lot of work.
That's a lot of
But
work.
you could also.
What if I just give
you know,
them money and then it downloads and plays
What if we're
automatically?
full-grown grown-ups with paychecks?
What
Now,
if we do that?
Here's the thing. Let me nip this topic in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the price. It's too expensive. Get used to it, America.
How about saying get used
Everything.
No, but we don't have to.
Our dollars are not worth anything
Listen,
anymore.
what I
The
I've-
Virtual Boy's $100.
Yeah, which I'll pay. I'll pay.
What?
That. I'll pay that.
Yeah. Which, to be
Not
fair,
the cardboard
Do you
one,
know-
to
do
be
you know
clear.
all-
No, the cardboard one's $20.
Do you all
That's
know
fair.
how much I paid for a new Virtual Boy back in the day?
You got a steal though. You didn't
I
get
got
it,
a
like
I got a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid $120,
Okay.
which for something that's
No, that's really
usually
good.
that's really good.
That's
But
pretty rare.
my point is that $100 to play the Virtual Boy with the Switch 2.
Does that $100
not
something
drastically
dollar
different.
Virtual Boy, does it come with a controller?
No.
So it's literally hundreds of dollars for a piece of plastic.
Mhm. Well, and
Yes.
the mirrored lenses,
We're
but
cooked.
Yeah,
that's it.
America.
No, here's my.
We're
But
cooked.
To be
here's
fair
the
though,
point,
that's
though.
only a $10 markup from the rest of the world. Like it's the
in the US.
The rest, so we're only $10 more cooked than the rest of the world,
Yeah.
which is also cooked.
also
So
cooked.
here's-
All right, we're
But Ethan,
cooked.
Ethan, you had a question though.
Wait. I just
Oh.
want to finish that point
Go
that
for
Ty
it.
made because
Yeah.
Ty said get used to it, America, and my point is no, I will not because inflation is not real. Make things cheaper, or I'll steal them. I'll steal a whole house.
You know,
You literally
I can't
cannot
I agree with you, but I
You
kind of agree
can't
with you.
stop me if if Harrison said you have to pay for me to be here right now, he'd have a chain on his leg.
Right.
Okay, you can't put any rules.
Oh wow! Oh man!
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
Why that was there.
I've never looked under the desk, but he does.
That's
All
Quentin,
right.
That was Quentin's really bad segue into.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Ethan, you had a
So
question.
Yeah, go
they open with Mario. New
Galaxy.
Mario movie is going to be about Galaxy.
It's just
Yeah.
we know the name is
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
I
It
think
could not even be about Mario.
Yeah, we
No,
don't.
Mario will not be
Sorry, I
appearing
brought
in
it
this
up.
movie.
No,
Chris
I think
Pratt.
they are teeing up Mario Galaxy 3. The movie's
Probably.
called Mario Galaxy,
Yeah.
and they re-released Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and so it's like they could be teeing up 3.
They're also releasing the book from the
That is
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
exciting.
cool.
Rosalina's
Oh, okay. Yeah,
book is a physical
that's-
book.
Oh, very cool.
And
I like that. That's one of
has
the-
an art book in it.
Around the time of the Mario movie next year, they're doing the most amazing amiibo I've ever seen, Mario Galaxy amiibo. Mario and Luma shooting out of the star, and Rosalina reading the book
Oh,
too.
well,
Yeah.
that's
They
fantastic.
look.
Anything for
it looks
This was
great.
the amiibo direct.
It was the amiibo.
I want
direct.
every
There's
single
so many
amiibo
of
that
them.
was in the
really?
game.
There's so many
Okay.
great ones.
Cool.
Uh,
So they didn't announce any new Mario games.
They
No.
did.
They did.
Well,
Which got me very excited.
Yeah.
The Mario Man.
Mario
No, they
Please
announced
say it's not an RPG.
No.
It is kind of.
Well,
No, it's not.
they added some stuff.
It has
to
an
that's
RPG
kind
in
of-
it, kind of.
sorry, you said they added something
well-
to it. So is it a brand new game?
No,
really?
it is
a brand new game.
Mario
They've added
Tennis
stuff.
Fever got
Mario
announced.
Tennis
Oh, okay,
Fever.
cool.
I'm
Looks
sorry.
It has
A
an
Mario
adventure mode
spin-off
that's like
got
an
announced.
RPG.
It has a.
You fight
yeah.
enemies. You hit enemies in the overworld, and you go into an RPG-esque tennis
Yeah.
match against them.
So a Mario
Okay,
spin-off
that's
got
kinda
announced, which
interesting.
is really special because they've only announced 47 of those in the last year.
Listen,
And so this is a big
Quentin,
deal.
A hurricane is a central point that has a bunch of spin-offs.
True.
But we call the whole thing a hurricane.
Right.
Mario is a central thing
Yeah,
that
it's
has
a
more
franchise.
spin-offs than main things.
Yeah.
So
No, Mario
this is
Tennis-
another spin-off.
Mario
sure,
Tennis is
but
by
It is
far-
my favorite sport.
It is the hurricane.
No,
And
but
just
here-
like a hurricane, Mario destroyed New Orleans in 2005.
I think that Mario is more like a shotgun where when they shoot, there's a chance they'll miss me, but once they have me cornered, they can beat me to death with no problem. Okay?
I don't think they
And
need
I-
a shotgun. if
Wow.
you're
I
cornered.
think that's what Mario is
It's a
because
virtual boy shaped.
No, it
shotgun.
looks
It's a
it looks
virtual-
fantastic.
Cool.
It looks
Cool,
like they're
yeah.
taking the DNA of Aces, but I think Aces was really fun, but it wasn't as weird and wacky as like Power Tennis was back in the day. I think they're bringing that back. Like you have, I think they said like 38 characters and over 30 fever rackets, and the fever rackets have abilities where like you can. I just love Quentin's face while I'm extra. No, but they have powers like you can create like a burning like
Okay.
embers on the other side, and then you can shrink your opponent. You can create like a doppelganger, so there's two people against one. It looks really cool, and then it has an adventure mode. That looks
Bring
cool.
back normalize adventure modes.
And it's
Let's get
like-
adventure modes back.
It's
in
a
games.
creative idea where like Mario and his friends have been turned into their baby forms, which is
Mm-hmm.
why they don't know how to play tennis anymore, and you have to learn. And I
Oh.
assume become
like level back up into it.
play 25 years of
Can
Mario's life
Can we
again.
get a Mario game where there is like depowered Mario again? You remember how
Yeah,
he used
yeah.
to look like a loser when he
Yeah.
like in Super Mario World? He's like scrawny loser when he's
Yeah, like
depowered, and then
mini
he's
Mario.
regular Mario.
Yeah.
Like we need to bring that back.
Yeah. You should
Yeah.
play 3D World. That's what it is.
I think
No,
in Wonder
okay.
there's depowered Mario.
No, there is, but like
He's, like, tiny.
This is the thing. There are still
I see.
games where that are Mario where he's depowered, but like Mario Kart doesn't have depowered Mario.
I see.
Oh yeah.
I
You
want
know?
that. Yeah, I like that.
I think their last announcement Ethan would love is they announced a new Yoshi game.
They did.
Oh, I'm all about the Yoshi.
Pretty
games.
obviously good feel. Who's been working on
Yeah.
Yoshi this whole
but
time?
it looks incredible.
It does look
from a
Yoshi
visual
jumps
style.
into like a storybook, and it's like
Like Yoshi's
hand-drawn
Okay.
story art where like the
Yeah.
frame rate is kind of more like little clips of him.
Yeah.
It looks very
It looks
Yoshi's
really
Island.
good, yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
original Yoshi's Island, where like
It looks pretty
They've
good.
had hit or miss
Yeah,
with-
it looks pretty
Even
good.
Quentin
Yeah,
can-
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, but I
Yeah.
think Yoshi games in general pretty
Yeah.
solid. So that's
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, but
Well,
Yoshi's Island.
I don't know if you guys played Crafted World. It was a bit
Crafted.
of a
I
letdown.
played Crafted World.
okay.
It was
Boring.
Woolly World was really good, but
Woolly
Crafted
World was surprisingly good.
I think they're getting like the thing is like Yoshi's Island has cute elements, but the game is not cute. It's like
You really feel like it's very atmospheric.
Yes.
And I really want Mario games in general to lean more into the atmosphere of what they built.
Yeah.
Because they have a really cool aesthetic, but a lot of times they pretend like everything needs to be like tame and kind of the same.
Yeah.
And you can go wild with, especially with like Yoshi games. You can really lean in, you know, like the castles are sometimes kind of creepy on the inside. And like Raphael the Raven is like kind of a trippy
surreal.
boss. Very surreal. You can do a lot. And I feel like that's where when Yoshi's Island thrives is when there's a lot of variance, and when it kind of wilts is when everything looks the same.
Well, the moment that we'll move on from Yoshi, but the moment that I thought about it was when actually our friend made a joke about how it was The Last of Us, like it was Yoshi Last of Us edition. But then later in it, like the flower from, you remember the little flower man from Yoshi's Island? He's like the one riding on Yoshi's back at the beginning. But then at one point, Yoshi runs through these little like, it look like dandelion spores, and like the spores come down and they land on the little flower guy and like take over him. It was a little kind of creepy.
It was a little disturbing.
And I was like, and he's not happy about it. He's all like, and then like they like take over his like little. It was a little creepy.
So is this like a sequel to Undertale then? Is that what you're
I
trying
don't
to
know.
tell me?
Maybe.
Is
I've
that
never
the
played
evil
Undertale.
flowers.
Who
gonna
would make a
kill
sequel
all
to
of us?
Undertale? That's a terrible
That's
idea.
a terrible idea. Who would make Undertale?
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, then they moved on, and we talked about this in the direct. I always feel bad for any of the games that have to come after giant announcements like that. Like you're like all of us Mario fans are high off Mario, and then like I couldn't tell you what the next 3 games were. Like I have no clue.
So they announced Mario Tennis. What was the first console to have Mario Tennis on it?
Virtual Boy had Mario's Tennis, but that
So
was
a
developed by internal.
But
the
it was
first
a-
one Camelot made
No,
was
but
Mario Tennis
I
on the
didn't ask
N64.
that. What was the first console that had a Mario Tennis game?
Mario Tennis or Mario's Tennis?
Just a game featuring Super
We're
Mario
we're cutting all
where
this.
he
We're
played
cutting
tennis. Was that on the?
That was on the Virtual Boy.
That was on the Virtual Boy,
Yeah.
which is
segue to talk about the Virtual Boy.
so.
Cody.
That's
Go for
we've
it.
already talked about the Virtual Boy. I just want to highlight the
thank you.
fact that they announced a Mario Tennis game after
Speaking
showing.
of-
They shut the hell up. We're talking about Mario Tennis. They announced a Mario Tennis game after announcing that the Virtual Boy's Mario Tennis.
Before.
Well, yes, but in the same direct,
Yes.
right?
That's what you meant by after.
That's what I meant by after.
well,
is
after in our
before.
conversation.
Oh, there you go.
We talked about
you
it
did
first.
You tied it around.
Why would someone want to play this newfangled Mario Tennis game
Right.
when there's already a perfectly good Mario Tennis game?
I've got that one. The seizures.
Yeah, it doesn't cause seizures.
The red light.
Yeah.
The
That
peanut
you know
allergy.
of.
Simply
Peanut
too
allergy.
weak.
Yeah, right.
If the Virtual Boy gives you seizures, you should have one.
Oh,
Okay?
Whoa.
Simply put,
Quinn's
hot
opinions
take.
do not
Hot
represent the
take.
opinions
All
of the
those
Power Up
kids that
Club,
watched that Pokemon episode deserve to be
They-
hospitalized.
and
They
in fact,
deserved it.
they are the opposite of
Yeah.
the opinions of the Power Up Brothers
Harrison,
podcast.
Can you make a disclaimer about Quentin and his opinions and put it on this?
it's called natural evolution.
It's too late.
When
50 episodes
50
in,
episodes
we should
in,
have
we
just
should
like
have
run
done
episode
this.
-1.
After billions of years, the Earth
Yeah.
produced the Virtual Boy through natural processes,
Uh-huh.
and human beings that have evolved who are not strong enough to survive it shouldn't.
So Ethan, the last
Anyway.
Mario thing was Mario Wonder is getting a Switch 2 edition with
Yep.
beefy new content.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that looks cool.
That
I was
the
a big
game was
fan.
great.
I love that game.
Big fan of Wonder.
What was your highlight of the direct time?
My highlight?
Yeah, what was your favorite thing?
Because I've got something else
There's
to
a
gush about,
lot.
but I need to put some room in between
Yeah,
my
right.
gushing.
There was a lot. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This direct was exactly 1 minute and 48 seconds long.
Oh,
and
really?
consisted just of more Metroid footage.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The Metroid footage though was sick, and I want the internet to know that I caught that it was Metroid before Ty did.
He did.
I saw a little
I
more.
thought maybe
Salt track,
Xenoblade. It
and
looks
I
like
was
an area from
I was like,
Xenoblade.
Metroid, baby.
Yeah.
Did you see the Metroid thing?
I have
No,
not.
he hasn't seen anything.
Metroid,
Just Fire
Oh, just
Metroid.
Fire Emblem,
I remember Nate the Hate saying that like Metroid, what is there left to show? He thought it was going to come out this year, and it will, just barely.
Barely.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of Metroid. I wish they would promote it more. I feel like that's Metroid's actual
Yeah.
Achilles heel.
And what is the release date on Metroid?
December. December 18th, I think. December
Any-
5th.
Yeah.
Any,
December 18th. We'll go with
even
that.
like an inkling of a multiplayer.
No,
nothing about
nothing like that.
But
not going to.
I'll raise the ante on you.
Yeah.
Open world motorcycle Metroid.
Yeah, the thing no one expected.
That's not. I didn't get that from ChatGPT random generator. That's a real
That's
thing.
a real
that's in
thing.
the trailer.
Looks like it's going to have. It doesn't look like to put people's fears to
It doesn't look
assuage
bad,
them.
no.
It doesn't look like it's an open world game. It looks
No.
like it has a
Like
region.
sandbox?
Yeah, where Samus is going to ride a motorcycle.
I don't think region though. I do think it's like they don't want to do fast travel because
Right.
Metroid
Like a
fast
hub.
travel kind of kills Metroid games.
Yeah.
Like
Dread
just-
didn't have
Dread
it.
barely pulled it off with its warp points, but even those I was like
I get very confused by.
I
it.
get confused by them, and you could have done it out. I think this is going to be their way of being like, we want a big world. Here's how later, because it's a different suit. So
Yeah,
when you
right.
get that suit,
Yeah.
you obviously can use this feature.
It looked very cool.
But it looks
looked very
insane.
seamless. Like Samus hops off and you just straight
Yeah.
into the visor.
But
hop on.
here's my point: Metroid Prime 4
Right.
Okay.
is being developed by Retro.
Studios,
yeah.
Metroid, Metro, Retro. Retro has never made a bad game.
That's
Yeah.
true.
The second that Nintendo said they weren't making the game, I then realized that the game would be good. Okay? So
Quentin, is it this table that
Are you
brings
okay?
out your like?
Are you okay?
I've got to
It's
connect these words.
I'm worried about you.
There's mold in the blanket, and
Yeah.
it's reaching deep into his brain.
every time
right
I
now.
pound the table, the spores go up.
Yeah.
No, here's the point: is that I agree with everybody. Not Ethan, since he didn't watch any of it, but
Right.
I agree with everybody that every trailer
Mhm.
that has come out or everything that I have heard about Metroid Prime 4 is such good news.
Yeah, no, it is.
But at the same time, when Nintendo tucked their tail in shame and handed Metroid Prime 4 off and said, we're scrapping everything that we did, right?
Right.
Shigeru
it was
Miyamoto-
probably Bandai Namco that was developing.
Whoever
it
did
before.
it.
we really don't know.
We don't
but
know.
that's
The
the
point
most
is,
logical team.
When Shiggy Momo got up there and he said, development on Metroid Prime 4 is not going anywhere and we're giving it to Retro Studios, right?
Just as a disclaimer, Quentin is racist, and every Japanese person is Shigeru
Yeah.
Miyamoto.
I was doing an impression of a white guy with
He was.
brain
This is
damage. So
Quentin was doing
I
an
was gonna
impression
say-
of Ronald Reagan at the
So,
end of his
at the
presidency.
Right at the end of his life.
So the point is, though, is that like, is it good? Yeah, but
Yeah.
why would we think anything else? If they had shown me no trailer and I just knew it was from Retro,
Yeah.
I'd be saying it was
such
going to
a-
be Kino.
I'm excited to go and watch that trailer.
It's
I'm
so
going to watch
good.
the direct tonight. I'm so locked in for Metroid, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
even. I can't. I mean this sincerely. Like we are literally talking about it, and I'm having to try not to think about it.
I know,
There were,
it's so
yeah,
good.
there
I'm
were
so
a whole
excited
lot
for
of.
Metroid.
To be fair, like Metroid is kind of an automatic highlight for me.
Sure.
There were a number of really great highlights.
Well, Metroid has
these
a.
are-
To be
let's be
fair,
clear,
I'll
though.
be tame just so that I can clip this, but I do want it in here.
Yeah.
Is that there was one point where like there's this little like it looks like a toy box almost like little like cartoony art style like handmade clay models, and I was like oh, that's neat, like that looks like the shoreline from Dragon Quest VII. And then the characters start talking. I'm like, this sounds like the opening of Dragon Quest VII, and then there's like a well with a rock over it, and I was like, oh my god, it's Dragon Quest VII.
Yeah.
The folks they haven't announced this. It's definitely Art Piazza who's remade all the it's Dragon
looks
Quest VII
incredible.
reimagined.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dragon Quest
It's not
VII
a remake.
No, the 3DS already had a remake, and it
Right.
was great. I never beat it, but 7 caught a lot of criticism for lots of different reasons, pacing issues. They've specifically said this game has been reimagined to sort of address some of those. It was a PS1 game.
sure.
They're
Yeah.
kind of getting rid of it. It looks
It
incredible.
looks incredible.
The collector's edition is a ship in a bottle with all the characters on it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They will never.
All my
That is
savings are gone.
irresponsible.
All
Yeah.
my savings are gone.
Some,
No.
I feel like every time Dragon Quest is like, hey, we've got some pre-order bonus or something, I know that Rachel loses sleep. She goes
Worried about how they're going to
My
pay
poor
rent.
wife.
She's like,
We have to eat.
yes, Devin, we've been eating beans from the can. They took away our electricity. We can't even microwave
I'm
it.
like, look, blame Yuji Horii.
I was gonna say,
he's the one with
It's
all my
his
money.
fault.
No, it looks
Oh,
great.
It does
Um,
look really
that
good.
looks. That's.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
To be honest, I love that for you because obviously Dragon Quest 7 is game. It's a PS1 game.
PS1 game.
They're remaking it. One could argue you could just play the PS1 game and not play a remake. But if they're going to remake something, a faithful remake,
reimagining,
I love that for you. That's great.
When on the next episode, we talk about what you've been playing.
Right.
I'm going to talk a little bit about remakes.
Oh.
And something I really like about the Dragon Quest remake, as you were talking about it, is that they are addressing the flaws of the game. Because a lot of things that go into remakes, into older games, they're good and they are challenging. Yeah. And sometimes they are just time wasters because Blockbuster wanted more of your money.
It's not the DNA of the game. It's just
and sometimes they just have some things that just don't work great in old games. And the game is phenomenal otherwise, and some things just don't work great. So I really like the idea that they're looking at this game. It's a classic. It's beloved. It's in the Dragon Quest series, so obviously like has tons of fans. And they're going, we can do this, but we can also like be less. We can take our nostalgia glasses off and be like, this is phenomenal, but we can fix these problems while we're at it.
Exactly.
I would just like to say, I know we're a little short on time for this segment, so we may need to just add a little minute here. They also, by the way, announced a new Fire Emblem game.
No, they didn't. I watched the direct.
You didn't see that?
There is no Fire Emblem game now.
So there was a Fire Emblem game, which Harrison, producer Harrison, what is the name of that Fire Emblem game?
Weaves of Fate. Weaves of Fate.
Weaves of Fate. So the Weaves of Fate game.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
Correct.
This game
accurate,
is about Okay, let me just put it into perspective.
Wind up.
So it's set in Arabia. Okay. And the Arabian people, Arabia there's like a peninsula. It's called the Arabian Peninsula. Okay. There's people there. Okay.
Don't know what
Harrison just
in the Arabian Peninsula there is the Colosseum.
Right.
But
in this Fire Emblem.
In Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem classic staple is the Colosseum. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it is.
In Weeb's Awakening. So the point is that you've got this Arabian Colosseum and they're forcing people to fight.
We don't know if they're
I think they're
forcing
volunteers.
I think they get a wish if they win.
Yeah.
So they're forcing
they get
people
to ask
under
one boon of the Emperor.
There's clearly a dragon god.
They're not forcing them. You just can't eat if you don't do it.
This is exactly like saying, capitalism doesn't force you to work, right? If you're living in a world where
if you're living in Arabia,
if you're living in Arabia and the only thing,
and you don't get 3 wishes, come on.
If you're living in Arabia and the only way that you can experience a cool breeze is by having a wish, then a wish becomes a necessity.
If your point doesn't come in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to give Ethan the floor because he's the Fire Emblem boy.
Here's the point. Who's making this game? What's their name?
Intelligent Systems.
Intelligent Systems.
GPT.
Well, let me tell you who's not intelligent.
Oh?
Intelligent Systems.
Okay.
They said, we're going to set a game in Arabia. Okay?
Right.
What's it going to be about? Getting 3 wishes. And now it's 1 wish, but the point is,
inflation.
they literally it's inflation. Okay,
it's out of control.
Bidenomics, Byte-minomics, intelligent systems. Okay,
there you go.
They
made that leap, huh?
They set a game in what is in effect Arabia, and they made it about getting a wish from a genie. And you know what, intelligent systems?
There's no genie.
Shame on you. Shame. Okay, a dragon lord. Okay, I don't care what you call it.
We just all say shame on Quentin for thinking any of that.
Watching this is the only part I have watched.
Go for it.
Of the trailer.
You're a big Fire Emblem guy.
You're a big
In case you
Fire
guys don't
Emblem
know, he loves Fire Emblem.
I very much do.
I think the only one you don't like is Engage.
I don't like Engage. I have never played the game myself. I played the demo a little bit. I watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. I watched every cutscene. I watched every bit of dialogue.
Yeah.
I watched all of it. It is quite bad and has some actually good things hidden in it, but it is kind of quite bad.
It's cringy, which
it's
is
very cringy.
I never thought I would ever describe a Fire Emblem game as cringe.
Yeah, they like.
What are you talking?
No,
what do you mean?
Hey, hold on a second. we're old. We played
Yeah.
Fire Emblem
Yeah.
back when they were like fairly serious.
I've played
Sure.
the fairly serious games, but to say like I've never thought of Fire Emblem as being
If you told me if you played Path of Radiance and said in 10 years characters are going to ooh woo at you,
Yeah.
I would have gone, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're literally out
Don't
of your
let
mind.
him derail
Wait,
you.
wait,
Ethan.
wait.
What's
How
your
many
point
years
about-
ago did Fire Emblem Awakening come out?
Awakening?
Awakening is
It
a
was
decade
over 10
after.
years ago.
14 years?
2014,
Yeah. Path of
I
Radiance.
thought it was 11. Like
2011, maybe.
It was a
Yeah.
My
Maybe
case
you're right.
stands.
11
Right.
was
My
3DS.
case stands.
Ethan, what's your point about
Your point, please continue.
so
Weaves of Fate?
Weaves of
This
Fate.
is the thing. I wasn't
Weaves.
thrilled by what I saw
Okay.
because it did kind of reminisce off of that. I want a Fire Emblem that just lets its characters be characters.
Yeah.
And they tend, with modern Fire Emblems, they tend to take this like very extreme personality trait and try to build a whole character around
Yeah.
it. That's not really what works in the past. The first third of Fire Emblem Echoes, your main character is a country bumpkin. Like, he doesn't become more complicated till you get further along. Ike never does. Ike spends the whole Path of Radiance just being a mercenary who is a person.
Yeah.
Really great Fire Emblems tend to let the characters exist in their world for a long period of time before they start raising like the stakes and like setting up more complicated things. It's the reason people really like Dimitri over the other two lords
From
Three Houses
Yeah.
is because everyone was like, well, he's the bland lord. And I'm like, no, they're giving him space to be a character.
Right.
The trailer might just be cut kind of weird.
Trailers
They might
tend to
be-
accelerate.
They might be
things.
loading the lines from the end of the game all the way to the beginning. That's totally possible. It's just when the last game made caricatures out of everyone,
Yeah.
to do the caricatured version of their characters as the first trailer is a little like, it gives me a little bit of anxiety for the game going
Sure.
forward. I'm like, I don't want the characters to just be like this one edgy personality trait of like, I have to avenge my uncle's death at the hands of the demon dragon. I'm like,
Right. Actually,
who
you
are
don't
you?
have to do that. Right. Right.
who are you? Like, what kind of person are you? Like, other than that?
It
What's
sounds
in it?
like someone who like has played a Fire Emblem game, like trying to make a Fire Emblem game of their
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Which Ethan touched on this though, but if you make a trailer and all the characters are like, I'm nobody, I do nothing. Sorry, I brought it up.
Yeah,
probably.
true.
So trailers tend to like
highlight.
focus on that one
Yeah.
trait. But you're right. Like if that is the game,
But
The
to your
trailers
point,
for Path
engage when it was in the trailer, and then you play the game, and the
it's
characters
exactly
are all
like that.
Yeah.
one-dimensional.
The trailer for Path of Radiance is literally just like this war starts.
Yeah.
Like you just see all these
Yeah.
like great shots of like war starting.
Yeah.
And then the trailer for Fire Emblem Echoes is like these kids reading a storybook,
Yeah.
and then this war starts, right? Like these
Echoes struck the balance
Yeah.
really well. Where
Yeah.
like it wasn't because Path of Radiance, we love it, but it
Yeah.
was like the darkest.
It's the
point
darkest
in
of
the
all.
history.
This actually brings up an interesting point that I want to touch on. Does anybody notice that trailers kind of suck nowadays because they feel like they have to
'Cause
be
they're
a
an
vertical
ad.
slice of a
Yeah,
game
they're an
instead of
ad.
just being like trailers used to just be like, like there's a guy's face and he's screaming at you, and then it says that it's a Monopoly game, and
Right.
then like
Yeah,
That
they-
highlights the capitalist
Yeah.
experience.
I have a thought. My thought is they're going to do a time skip in this Fire Emblem.
Oh,
they did in
And
the last one.
They did that in the last one. They did that in the one
The
before.
main character is really young.
They've done
yeah.
a lot of time skips.
Engage has a time skip.
It does.
Oh.
Not a huge one, but
Oh,
it does have
I
time
meant
skip.
Three Houses. I didn't play
Engage
the game.
does have a time skip.
Yeah.
It's not a gigantic one, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
little weird. But
Seems formulaic.
here's the thing. I think they're going to have a time skip, and if they do, and this is just how the story starts, I actually have more hope for it.
Yeah.
If this is the story, then I'm a little more worried.
Sure.
Because if this is the story, they're kind of just taking these fully baked characters and then trying to say, well, here, it's a great
Yeah.
character. And I'm like, a great character is something you build one little step at
especially
a time.
in Fire Emblem.
Especially
know,
in
very
Fire
much
Emblem.
There
So-
was a Sonic game set in Arabia.
It was
There
actually
was.
pretty good.
I actually
And
kind of like the
slapped.
Secret Rings.
That game, Super Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
right.
And the Secret Ring
Yes,
Yeah.
with Dante
Right?
from
And
Devil May
Knuckles.
Cry.
with Dante from Devil May Cry
That's
featuring
right.
Funky Mode. Here's the thing about that.
Right.
That's a story about Super Sega Sonic the Hedgehog
Mhm.
getting a wish.
Yes. Well,
Whatever tangent you're about to go on, we don't have time for.
we don't
Wait
have
a
that.
minute.
yet.
Did Donkey Kong get DLC as well?
Yeah, Donkey Kong's
dropped
getting DLC.
today,
yeah.
Oh, hey, cool.
Mhm.
I saw
Dropped
Diddy
today.
Kong in the world.
No,
of
it's Donkey
Bonanza.
Kong Island.
Hey,
It's
Yeah,
DK
it's
Island
DK Island.
reimagined.
I like that.
We don't
It
have
looks
time
really
to talk
great.
about it.
Yeah.
So the
It's
point
good. Go play it.
is that
It's
Super
fun.
Sega
Well.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Japan is
Right.
racist
Donkey Kong.
against Muslims,
We didn't have
and they
time
should
for
be
Donkey
ashamed of
Kong,
themselves.
and we have time for that.
Exactly, the news.
Now, normally, if you're new here, we would go to topic of the week. But
Yeah.
Topic of the week.
we've been doing this. This is
Oh.
our 1 year anniversary. So instead,
Yeah.
we're just going to reminisce. Guys,
So,
I'm happy to announce to start off this thing. Quentin asked
Yeah.
for it for a year, and I made him wait a year. But when you're watching this, we have a Patreon.
That's
finally.
right.
Patreon.com.
You guys can finally do the thing you've been waiting on,
slash-
giving
Yeah.
us money.
Pay
Power
us.
Up
No, if you
Bros.
guys want to support us, if you like what we're doing,
Wait, let me say it.
the most important thing you can do is subscribe. But if you
Wait,
want to go a
let me
little
say it.
extra,
Wait.
you can
You can
go
give
to
money to our Patreon. If you
No,
don't like what we're doing,
excuse
you can
me.
extract money from our bank
Yeah,
account
you can
using our
actually-
Patreon.
and
We set it
My
up that
name
way.
is now Quentin. Patreon.com/PowerUpBros.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because every day, if someone greets me at the grocery store,
Mhm.
I won't say hello anymore. I will
Right.
say Power Up Bros at Patreon. Okay,
That won't
patreon.com.
get them there.
That won't get them
Patreon. Patreon.com/
Power Up Bros.
Power Up
Spelled that way,
Bros.
Power Up Bros.
So
hopefully
that's
it's
what I'll
live
do.
by the time you're watching this. It might not be. We apologize. But we just have one tier if you want to join us. It
They
gives
have
you
to prove
access
we're
to
legal.
exclusive videos, including the first 3 podcasts. If you look at the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
our first 3 never went up. They were impossible to edit, but then me and Harrison cracked our heads together and they still didn't come out, but we're going to see if they do. And also, we'll do other exclusive videos. And the one I'm most excited about is we're going to have a patron topic bag. You can suggest topics, and then we'll pull from that on during topic of the week.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about your topic. If you want your topic on the podcast, go over to patreon.com/powerupbros. Help us out. Guys, 1 year?
1 year.
One
dog.
What are we doing?
Sorry, don't you
I
mean
don't know.
1 year?
1 year.
Ew.
Why are we still doing this?
Now, this is not our typical segment of topic of the week, but we're just going to talk about. What's funny is it's been such a blur of a year.
Yeah, it really
The
has.
4 of us have not sat down and just talked about our experience with the podcast. Because why would we?
When we started this year, I did not have a job or any hope of,
I know.
finding one.
I know, yeah.
I lived in this house,
Yeah,
and you had 3 kids.
I did.
Yeah.
They're gone.
And
now.
someday
Now
I'm
we're
going
down
to
to
find
2.
them. No.
They went missing in those woods in Saskatchewan.
It is crazy how
and
we.
Ethan and Ty and I helped Devin for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we gave up the search.
I'm pretty sure you guys are the one that took them.
and we went to Tim
I'm
Hortons.
starting to think. There's one of those here. Did you know that?
Is there a Tim
In
Hortons
Norfolk,
here?
yeah.
Wow. Here's the thing. When this podcast started, I
Yeah.
lived in the same place that I live in
Yeah.
now.
Less has changed for you.
Harrison
changed, yeah.
lived in the place that he lives in now.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
And I'm, how do I say? I'm okay with the fact that this season of misery did not include having to move all my crap
No,
to
it
a
sure
new
didn't.
location.
You're right.
Good.
Imagine,
Especially because
Can't-
you have a what's your big CRT called? It's a
oh,
Sony-
the
it's a
Trinitron. Yeah, I have a
yeah.
Trinitron.
It's like 700
That's
pounds.
the villain
and you
of
live
the
on the second
Transformers.
floor.
It is a really big TV. It's like unreasonably large. It's like a 40-inch Sony
Yeah.
Trinitron from 1998, and
It's nice.
wild.
I helped
yeah,
you
it
pick
took
up.
like 5 of you
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So,
to
get it up
it
the
I want
narrow
to reminisce
staircase.
about
Yeah.
something
Go.
very
Let's hear it.
specific.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just me.
Please
and
do.
Devin.
Okay.
So when Devin brought this idea of a podcast to me, and
Yeah.
we all sat around, we talked about the different stuff we were going to do. And we came up with this harebrained idea of designing this table.
Yeah.
I know
Mm,
we did.
mhm.
Yeah.
And because I had designed a cat door for the basement using this like wood from this like pallet from like Home Depot.
Yeah.
And like selling them. We liked the texture on it. We were like, we should build a table out of one of these.
And I've built like woodworking projects.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Tons of stuff. But we had this very specific idea because we were having to fit into a very small space.
Very, very small. Yeah.
And we were dealing with like, how do we store it? How do we make it work? And
you can't really buy tables this thin and this long. Like
I will see if I can find it.
Yeah.
But there is a picture of the two of us working on that table.
I think I have.
I think it's on the. Is that on the Instagram?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was posted on the Instagram account.
Unlike my recently shaped into perfection beard.
Yeah.
My beard was so wild while I'm working on that. I am wearing a flannel with a saw and I'm looking up at the camera and I look completely insane.
Yeah.
And everything that could possibly go wrong building this table went wrong.
It went so horribly wrong. And we worked so hard on it.
That's how Devin lost his 3 kids.
They should have never taken that trip.
I didn't know how to use a bandsaw.
Why were they under the table?
I don't know why they went all the way to Canada to make a table.
Worked so hard on this table, and then we stepped back and we were like, "It looks so bad."
It looks so bad. And they were like, it wouldn't like
so
we were trying
bad.
to put the like under there like braces on the bottom of it. We put one through. And I watched you go.
Yeah.
And it just went straight out the other end.
It was so
It destroyed
bad.
the part of the table. The one part of the table that looked good, it just blew the nail right through. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And then as we get this thing finished, I was like, oh man, I don't know what we're going to do. We waste this. You just go, oh, don't worry. I've got a great plan. And then I walk in for the first day recording and there's a blanket on it. And I said, oh no.
Now, do you know what's funny?
Oh no.
I said I have a great plan. It didn't work.
I
went to Target the day before we were supposed to record our first one, and I was just like, I just bought a blanket and just threw it over top, and now it's part of the pod.
It became one of the funniest things I've ever experienced.
that
Is
is-
walking in and the master plan to fix the table we worked so hard on was to throw a blanket
Just
over
drape
it.
a
That
blanket.
is such a
That's so
good
funny.
story because it is
Oh
so
my-
illustrative
it's
of the
perfect.
whole process we've had
We
of
had-
this, where it was
yeah.
basically just like I would always say when we were in the morgue, where I'd be, this is the busted podcast,
Yeah.
this is the
Busted.
broke podcast,
Yeah.
okay? And it was... You know,
We had
it's not
to-
like we've got $1 million set here, but
Or-
look at the
yeah, no.
surroundings we have.
Comparatively,
And
we've learned a lot.
comparatively,
Yeah.
We've learned a
because-
lot.
We've come up in the world by moving back into our parents' house.
Well,
What's really funny is I think this
There
space
you
was
go.
available when we first started.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
I think we just didn't.
We just chose
We were
not
just
to.
like,
Fully was.
yeah.
we were like, oh, our parents have a very nice house. We should not use it at all, even though what are those two going to use it for?
Well, so
We
we
have a lot of empty space.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that like our
Well-
first producer, the wonderful Michael B,
Yeah.
he was really just the producer because his house
Yeah.
was where we were like,
oh no, there was no
we're gonna-
reason for him to
we're
be a
gonna set
producer.
up. So behind
And to be
the
clear,
scenes-
he did no producing. So
He did no producing.
We can't call
Well,
him
we
a producer.
couldn't- we couldn't get mad at him
call
because-
him the Italian that was loitering.
Well,
okay, that's all we
Yeah,
can
no.
call
He
him.
was
Loitering
producing
Italian.
because he produced the area that we
This is
like
true.
that we recorded.
He also produced a layer of stress on the
Yeah.
podcast that
And
was
various smells.
well, when very smells, but no, the stress. But no, don't misunderstand me. I truly believe that man is only at its fullest during moments of conflict, like the Vietnam War. That produced some real
Hard.
human beings, right?
Right.
I just
Some
feel
good
like
movies.
the Viet Cong were more human than any of us will ever be. Okay.
Great.
We became more human
Mhm.
by virtue of dealing with the absolute nightmare
Yeah.
of 4 hours recording
Yeah.
with an hour that was usable,
We used
cameras breaking
to.
down.
Do you guys remember we used to
Uh,
have like? So I'll tease you guys for the Patreon exclusive episodes. Our first 3 episodes never aired because I didn't know anything about audio mixing, which I'm still not like an expert, but I know a lot more. Which audiophiles who have watched the whole podcast can very obviously tell the audio slowly being terrible and then getting better. The amount of work I have had to do with the audio recordings of our first 3 just to get it to where it's not painful to listen to our digital voices like coming through
Mhm.
is insane. But yeah, if it tells you anything, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we were so ambitious with the podcast when we first started that I insisted on 3 camera angles, which if you've watched, we have achieved in the past.
Yeah.
Every time we move, it's kind of hard to
Though
keep it going.
nice production value.
Nice
to
production
have
value,
3.
but on our
completely
very first episode,
impractical.
I tried it, and we were setting up with an old camera from like 2009. Quentin's like nice camera that's not really a camcorder,
Yeah, I know.
and a third one that I don't remember what is. I think it was a webcam or something.
And it was also like my camera is like a 4K Ultra HD digital.
It is, but it's
and
not.
there's no reason we would ever have needed
I don't need
But
to
it's
talk
not
more
that
about it.
particular
But
camera.
we learned that it's not really for recording because
No.
on that first episode, 2 out of the 3 cameras failed, and by some miracle, the 2009 one's the only one that
yeah,
kept going.
right.
So if
Yeah.
you go watch that episode, you can't see these guys. It's literally just me and Quentin. Like
As
you
it
two are
should
not
be.
in the first episode because
And
The
nothing
only
was
ones
lost.
that matter.
'cause
Yeah, the only
just
ones that
us.
matter.
And that's
Uh,
what we're going for the next year.
Yeah,
baby.
baby.
We're gone.
Here's the thing, though. Like I say, our horrible production value, the way that we would literally get there and we'd be putting things together, there'd be 18 delays. We couldn't get the cameras working. Michael B. would fall asleep on the panel and it would shut everything
You
down.
open a soda.
Michael B's, he would open a soda or start slurping pasta, which, let me just say this right now. If the guy that we all, we just have to acknowledge the fascist in the room, okay? When the Italian...
We always acknowledge you, Quentin.
When the Italian is slurping pasta into a microphone, and then everybody wants to get mad at me for bringing it up, okay? What's going on there? The point
we
is,
really
though,
just want to get mad at you.
that's
And we'll
basically
pick
it.
anything. We'll pick
The
anything.
point is, though, is that like
You didn't have to use all those slurs.
Yeah, that's what I was
when
gonna
you
say.
pointed
The
out.
slurs.
that was the main issue.
that was-
we're talking about the slurs.
You could've-
Quentin.
you could've
That's
been a
the
little
problem.
nicer.
We
Threat
had
with
to
a
edit
deadly
all
weapon
that.
is what we were more worried
But
about.
but again, the thing is like I think that there was so much character that was brought from the fact
Sure.
that we were all
Yeah.
somewhat exhausted by the whole experience, and I think that produced a vibe that was very
I do
unique.
think one of the things
true.
that we've managed to keep as we've gone forward is to keep it as much of a conversation as possible.
I think so.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing when we were in the morgue and everything was kind of terrible, even at its worst, when it's like, oh man, everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
We record for 5 hours and we use an hour of it, right?
Yeah.
The energy of the conversation was the thing we were all like, after every podcast where we were like, all like, yeah. We had a
Yeah.
good moment there where we were all just
Right.
like on the same
Yeah.
wavelength.
Yeah.
And as we've managed to like, the production gets better, there'll be a point when like the conversational quality starts to drop and we go,
Sure.
wait a minute, guys, time to get that conversation back up. Because
Yeah.
we managed to identify the thing that was most fun on our end to
Yeah.
do. And that every time we talk to people who watch it, they're always saying is their favorite part.
Yeah.
We managed to identify that and keep, anytime we get too far into production quality raises and
Right.
not enough into conversations, we mix things back up and we go back into like we raise that conversational level.
I agree.
It's been one of the things that like that balancing act I think it just has turned out pretty well.
We've also had
think so, too.
fewer people barging into the podcast.
I was
to talk.
just going to talk about
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kyle was an interesting
Oh,
part
man.
of the pod because
Those
to be
sections
fair,
with him are they're
like,
They're very
certified
interesting.
hood classics.
in the
guys.
beginning,
Yeah.
he lived in the space we were recording,
Yeah.
and we planned it to where
Yeah.
he wasn't home during
With
those
his schedule,
recording
yeah.
times with the
Mhm.
schedule. But sometimes he would just come home because we would spend like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Mhm,
But the
mhm.
behind the scenes that what Quentin's talking about is this table, these microphones, everything. They were in a space someone lived in. They didn't.
Yeah, right.
Like this studio that we have now, everything lives here.
Yeah, we don't
we
have to
show
set
up,
up
we
a
turn the
breakdown.
lights on, we turn the computer on, and then we start recording.
Mhm.
But
That was not how it was.
that was
Not
not, how
at
it was.
all.
It took a bunch of
We had to
setup,
break
a
it
bunch
down
of
every
tear
time.
down,
Mhm.
which is why if you watch the old episodes, the camera angle is
It's
always
always
pretty
shifting.
different.
We did not mark the floor
We didn't
where
mark-
we were
'cause
supposed
could. Someone
to.
lived
Yeah.
there, you know, and we had to move a lot of his stuff.
Mhm.
when
which-
you slapped that sign,
Which-
you Thanos snapped
I
Kyle out of
Thanos.
existence.
Yeah. Kyle- he's
You know,
gone.
the
to dust.
before the shoot would happen and you would be setting things up and
Yeah.
I'd be, you'd be getting the table together and I'd bring in some chairs. there was a bit of a moment where, like, when the microphones and the cameras were being set up, where there was nothing for me to do.
Yeah.
And so I would be sitting there, and if Kyle was still home, the two of us would sit and talk
Yeah.
for a long while, right? And
Yeah.
we'd be sitting there and talking before he left, if he left. There were times, obviously, where he didn't leave, right? And so there was a nice level of downtime.
Sure.
I know that sound like when I think about like the amount of time that went into, getting each one, it was kind of nice to be able to just kind of like sit around and just be in the space.
It was nice for you.
It was nice for me,
Everyone else is setting up.
Everyone's sweating and setting up.
But then there's the other side of it, which is that Devin was not sitting down and relaxing.
No,
He was,
I was,
trying to
yeah.
get cameras to work
Yeah.
when they couldn't. But
It was also tricky because the setup process there was kind of a single man operation where there's
Yeah,
nothing anyone can do to help.
No,
so like
once we got to the
bring
camera
we
stage,
bring all the tables
Yeah.
in, we get everything set up, but then the sound system has to be meticulously one thing after the other done, and you can't do them out of order.
It was
So
also
there-
standing room only. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a very spacious by comparison. We've got our gameplay area. We've got Harrison has his own desk and chair.
Mhm.
We have plenty of. We can move these chairs back. Back then, the chairs were
Chairs
against
didn't
the
move.
wall.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had to scooch in.
and there was a bathroom
There was
right
a
behind your head.
That door in the
Right.
backdrop of every shot is
That
a
was
bathroom.
that was a
Yeah.
bathroom.
Is a bathroom.
I
Well,
remember the first episode that I appeared on.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the recording, like I got hit with like really bad diarrhea, and I just there's a part where I just like in the
Yeah.
middle of the recording was like, "I'm sorry, guys, I gotta get up."
the weird edit in that
when we
first
decided to
episode with
move.
Harrison
Yeah.
was him just going like, "I'm really sorry," and then he just leaves, and I'm like, "How do I edit this out?"
Right.
We just had a bumper.
That is also illustrative of this
Yeah,
podcast.
very much
It
so.
made you sick.
It made you sick immediately.
But I just gotta say though, also massive amounts of gratefulness for Kyle and Michael B accommodating the fact that we moved our crap in there and started
As much
recording.
as we clown on them,
As much as we
like,
clown
do-
on them because
They were
Michael B
very
was
nice,
horrible
yeah.
at being a producer, and Kyle would storm in and rant about Helldivers or
Yeah.
whatever else was going through his head at the time.
the
I don't know,
dream-
the
the dream
body
was-
cam footage he had just watched. The point is though, is that like we were in their space,
yeah,
right? And they gave it to us to use, which was nice.
Yeah.
But unless you all have something else specifically about the morgue, I would like to sort of transition the thought to when we finally got out of the morgue, because we had a intermediary between here and now.
We had a little tiny room in my house.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That we used. That's what inspired this color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
My wife designed all of this. She came up with like she picked out the very real bricks. These are real bricks.
These are real bricks.
It's so funny
very
because
real.
when you mentioned that there was an intermediary between
The morgue
I was
and
like,
now, yeah.
the cabin we recorded one
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because
No.
I think of this space as the
Yeah.
same because like Rachel did a great
feels
job
very
with like the
similar.
color scheme and
Yeah.
then you guys did a great job decorating again.
As far as visually, this is
pretty
much the
feels,
same.
we kind of just transplanted that
Yeah.
area here.
But it was
yeah.
still technically a setup. Like we
Yes.
did, I couldn't just, most of the corner
Mhm.
remained the same, but I still had to set stuff up and we had to like shut the house down.
Right.
That
And
was
so
the only era of the podcast where there were actually women on the show.
there was actually
Yeah,
women, and we
yeah.
took
The other
care of
two
that.
eras.
I was going to say, I hated
Rid
that
them.
aspect. I'm
No,
really glad
we
that
got to talk
it's-
about I wanted to take a second to acknowledge all our producers. We did a little bit with Michael B and Kyle and stuff. So the four of us are
where we exclusively made fun of them.
That's right.
no, which is why we need the producer appreciation. No,
but not for them.
the four of us are the brothers. We're the Power Up brothers, but the Power Up producers are my lovely wife Rachel, Cameron. I'm not gonna say any last names. Cameron, producer Cameron, Michael B, and producer Harrison. It's like, especially in the early days, in some way or another, the producers were all really like essential. And I want to talk about why that is, because Michael B provided the space for us to store everything, which we would never have gotten up off the ground if we had to like cram into your apartment. Or like at the time I didn't have that space that we got.
Yeah.
Like it took a lot to get that space. And it was always just going to be temporary. We needed that space. We just for a while didn't need the space. But he let us be there. Then it was actually, if you go back to the episode right here, because I forget the number, there's been 50 of them. It's been a year. We were on vacation together, and we huddled around a pool table. And
one of our best episodes.
It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was nice,
the audio was really hard to edit because the bump, we were all just holding our mics. No, but producer Cameron is the one who gave me the idea of a more involved producer. She sat off camera and was texting us these memes and like adding to it.
Yeah,
and
sort of giving us comedic fuel or ideas, and also when we were asking about when something happened, it was the first time that a producer actually looked it up within the time frame that it would have been useful to us.
It was the only time.
It was the only time.
By the way, Fire Emblem Awakening released 2013.
Thank you.
I'm going to edit that back into where we asked
look at that. More than 10 years of slop. The point is that like that episode, I feel like gave us an idea of what we kind of wanted, going forward. We wanted a more involved producer because we saw how when she chose to be a more involved producer, it made for an episode that was much better.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what we realized was that like as brothers, we have a lot of fun talking about video games, but it made me realize that like what it's like for someone else to listen to it. That this podcast ultimately is a creative project we're all working on. We can sit in a room and talk about video games if we want to, but we record it for you guys out there. We like to talk about.
I don't want to talk to you all about video games if I can help it.
You cannot.
You cannot.
You are
not
compelled.
allowed.
Yeah, you are compelled.
You will text me at 1 a.m. and say, "I just replayed Metal Gear Solid 2. I think I've seen the future." Right?
Yeah. I'll say Sonic and the Secret Rings is racist. Pretty good game.
Pretty good game, though.
No, but and so she really got that. And then my wife Rachel was the producer a lot when we were in my home because she was right there.
Convenient.
And she created like the topic bag and this set, and then the cue cards that you guys have never seen, but that our producers use to tell us like
to shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Stop talking over top of each other.
Funds your Dragon Quest addiction.
She funds my Dragon Quest addiction.
That doesn't have anything to do with the podcast. That's just a comment.
My Dragon Quest addiction got us our lowest viewed short ever.
That's right.
And my horniness got us our most viewed one.
Cameron is also
amazing.
the producer of all of our TikToks.
Yeah.
She is.
She's yes. Which
I should say Rachel manages our Instagram, and then Cameron manages our TikTok, which I love that those two platforms are nothing alike.
They're nothing alike
because they reflect the people
cook
who
so
are
hard.
with them.
Like Cameron and Rachel both do such a good job
of managing
the differences. The Instagram ones are so like, and the YouTube shorts, because they're the Instagram YouTube shorts are very similar.
Very similar.
They are just like very like bite-sized little portions of the podcast. They're very informative. I love they have like images of the games and stuff that we're talking about. The TikTok is unhinged.
It is really
so
unhinged.
good. It's mostly these two guys right here.
It's me and Ty.
Yeah, they are the most clippable. They're the most TikTokable, right?
They're the most TikTokable.
The two what's the word? Moods, the two aesthetics, the two ways that the accounts are run on different platforms are very reflective of the people who run them and also the platform itself.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love
which hopefully
it's a perfect fit.
hopefully producer Cameron will be putting out some more TikToks soon, and she'll have lots of stuff if you all start being funny.
Oh.
I'm trying my
So
best.
she'll put up
That's what you were going for?
Harrison, you're doing great.
Oh, is that
Harrison,
what it
you're doing
was?
great. You're very funny. But so that your house era.
I want to say thank you to our producers, especially Harrison. Harrison's been
What have I done?
our current producer. He is
edited videos.
I was about to say,
for the
he's
first
actually
time.
pitched in.
He's
It's
editing.
not just up to me now.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
he's
the
editing.
rest of us sure weren't.
No,
gonna.
but he's editing. He's
Yeah.
helping with setup, and he actually has ideas for the podcast.
He has to live with Quentin.
He and
He's legally required.
and he and I will be doing Let's Plays.
Oh,
some
whoa.
point.
At some point. So look at that future
maybe
content
Patreon
contributed.
only content.
Maybe.
So
No, it's probably not.
I want to talk about
need the YouTube
the concept
video.
of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
So we're four literal brothers, and we have. I think we're in the unique scenario that we still live close to each other. Like we're not. I think a lot of people grow up and then they just like they
Find
move
success.
away and they can't. Like the only time they can play video games.
I think I'm the only one that doesn't live in the same city.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean,
So,
like we. Yeah,
it's all like.
But you're like
But-
a stone's throw away.
That's what I was saying.
You're
But
the same
I'm on.
distance from here as we are.
Yeah, let's say.
Yeah.
But I'm like right on the
yeah,
border
because
so
of
it's
where
not-
we live.
yeah.
That's not like super.
and we meet
far
in the
away.
middle, being here.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is that like, but even the fact that we all live so close, it was like, as adults, you just reach this point where like you're just so busy that if you don't schedule time to do something, it's just
It
not going
won't
to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so like,
Sometimes when you do schedule it, it doesn't.
sometimes
happen.
when
Yeah.
you do, yeah. But I think that that's unique for us is that we all can go sit on that couch and play a video game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's lots of channels where I think that people come together and play in person, but
Yeah.
like I didn't really. And if you are a channel that's like this, comment down below and give us some
Boost
like,
us.
boost us. No, I don't think I've ever seen a channel that was four literal brothers that all like came together and so we thought that we had something to add. I guess that's
Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
too is that it's fine to just record something, but we thought that we had that unique take.
Also, we joke about it a lot, but one of the things too is that most of the time when you have four literal brothers,
Yeah.
the opinions are going to be different in very superficial ways and not going to be like really reflectively different.
Right.
Sure.
And I actually do think like if
Ours are nothing alike.
they're nothing alike.
Yeah, let's say. Well, we
And-
don't like each other and we don't agree on anything. So
I didn't know
mean,
you felt that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say I don't know.
So I
This
think
is the only time they talk to each other.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
Quinn, what are you talking
we don't
about?
talk.
I disagree.
We don't talk to each other.
I disagree with you.
I disagree. I love
Yeah.
your stupid
Think-
face.
think about it.
Sorry.
I literally told someone very recently.
Right.
I was like, is my brother around? And they were like, no. And I was like, I was gonna ask him a question. And they were like, you came here to ask your brother a question?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And they were like, why didn't you call him? And I was like, I'm leaving. And I left. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is,
So, you know.
it's one of those things, like you said, it's not only are there very few podcasts that are about, that have the kind of setup that we do, but also the variety of opinions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
I'm someone who
Mhm.
like, I don't get into the thing on the internet where everyone's like, oh, you don't like the thing I like. That makes me irrationally mad. I'm more
Right.
interested in why people like or dislike things that I would find the opposite opinion.
Yeah.
I have the opposite opinion because my opinion is just my experience and my taste in things.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of have that same perspective, is that we're more interested in how people get to these conclusions than all having the same conclusion. And that's also rare.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of podcasts where people are disagreeing and they're interested in why they come to these different conclusions.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that this is more of a debate podcast than it is
We're
anything
in constant
else.
debate.
We're just kind
Debate
of
podcast.
arguing with
Not
each
even really
other.
debate. We just kind of shout things at each other.
I'd like to shout out some of our guests.
Okay, yeah, we have
Oh,
had
yeah.
a few guests. We don't have any clout, so we have to get
we've had, like,
guests.
3
that-
We-
Yes,
we've
sometimes
had
have more clout
Wait a
than
minute.
we
Wait
do.
a minute. We've had do you mean like when Harrison was on
yeah, I
the
was
podcast?
gonna say our first ever guest was Harrison.
Let's say, yeah, I
Pre-Harrison
remember.
was our very first.
I talked about Pokemon.
Yeah, you
sex.
talked about
did.
Pokemon.
Pokemon sex, yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, but we've had
we were not equipped to have that conversation,
No,
so we
really
thank
weren't.
you
We
for
still
coming
aren't.
on
We
and
really
taking care of that for
So
us.
we've had other guests.
have.
We not in this studio, but it bizarrely, I think most of our guests happened in the little temporary
Yep.
one in the
Yeah.
shortest period one, which we should tally up the episodes. I don't know if we spent more time in the morgue or more time in my house.
I
Like,
feel like
we
it
spent
feels
more
like
time
the
in your
more.
house.
I feel like
feels
we
like
spent
I
more,
think
but
it
we
was
spent a
more
lot
in
of-
your house.
Yeah, I think we spent
right?
a lot of time in my house.
That's true.
Yeah.
The morgue was better
No, we
than
had-
any of it, though.
We had some great
'cause
guests.
it was
We had
bad.
Harrison, who was
Yeah.
great.
The great
Um,
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs. I legit thought his last name was Luke Combs. No,
I wasn't there for that one.
Our good friend, the guy that we do say the last
We
name
do
of,
say
because he
because
has a pretty
he's
big
public,
YouTube
yeah.
channel. I think it's still bigger than ours. Luke McKeel, go check him out.
Which I should mention, I do remember.
Great musician.
I remember now that he was on the podcast
You weren't.
because
Yeah,
Ethan was like, "Hey, local musician Luke McKeel
right.
would like to be on the podcast," and I was like, "Oh, a guest on the podcast." And I was like, "Oh, there'll be 4 people,"
Yeah.
and I didn't show up.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't. You
I
weren't
was
there.
like, "Oh, well, they won't need me. There's already another person."
which I proved we can. Somebody can go sit with Harrison. Like
Right.
it wasn't a big deal.
Oh no,
Quentin
no, there was
just
no
fled.
reason. Clearly,
fled.
every subsequent time that
I'm gonna make you sit next to Harrison.
yeah,
next time.
that-
every
yeah, I was gonna
time.
say every
Just,
subsequent time that we've talked
Now-
about the fact that I just didn't show up for the Luke McKeel episode,
I know.
has been pointed out. Like, you could have just like sat where
I think you hurt
Rachel
Luke's
was,
feelings,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I never.
I
did.
could-
And
Sad
also
over it.
Lonnie, she was
Yeah,
great.
Lonnie was great. She was really fun.
Yeah, wants to be back on the podcast soon.
Yeah,
so
we'd love to have Lonnie on.
yeah,
That was
Fantastic.
that Twitch streamer.
yeah. You're gonna
Yes.
do a.
I sat next to the Twitch streamer,
You did,
right?
yeah.
And
after
I was
throwing
like,
We were all really
such
worried
a
about
fit
that.
I
about
was
having
like-
a Twitch streamer on our channel.
Yeah.
I was like-
a Twitch streamer who's a VTuber throws this giant
Oof.
fit, best friends with her
I
the
know.
whole
Yeah, right.
time. she's
oh,
on
we
the
got along.
podcast.
We got
which is
along
pretty typical for
swimmingly.
Quentin.
We got
Yeah.
along swimmingly. When I saw,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I see someone that's got pink or green hair, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get along with this person just fine.
While we're talking about
Like the
guests, I went
like the Riddler. Yes, that's right.
Quentin's best
His
friend.
point stands.
Quentin's
yes.
Stands.
role model.
I actually
Right?
don't think the Riddler has green hair, does he?
I
No,
don't
but
think
he's
he has
friends.
the Joker.
He's friends with
Yeah.
people with
He's
green
Jim
hair.
You're
Carrey
like
does.
the Riddler.
I'm like the
and you're
Riddler,
friends with,
and
okay,
I'm
got it.
friends with
Got it.
I'm friends with Joker and
No,
Harley
yeah.
Quinn,
Carrey's
right?
Riddler had green hair, and
There
then
you
the
go.
other
Yeah,
one,
orange
and then
hair,
the Two-Face had pink hair on the other side.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
The person I want to shout out who wasn't a guest, but it was a big deal when he started supporting us was old Stevie Meeks. Hi, Stevie.
Oh, dude,
Love you,
Stevie
Stevie
Meeks.
what a giga
Yeah.
chatted YouTuber.
I couldn't, but when I first saw Stevie's comment, I thought, oh, this is nice. This little guy with like a piplup thing is commenting.
Mhm.
And then I clicked on it. It was a real, he was the first YouTuber to like, who's
He was the
actually,
first person.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Devin,
first actual human being.
Devin thought that he was a little guy with a piplup. It turns out he was a big guy with a piplup,
Right.
and he liked.
Yeah, we've never seen
us.
him in person, but I
no, I
assume
mean,
he's full-blown adult.
yeah, I'm guessing he's a full size guy,
remember-
and
Yeah.
and
Maybe
he liked our channel, and I was like, why?
Yeah, he was.
I don't know
when
why.
You first
Did-
told me like, hey, there's a YouTuber, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you mentioned Stevie Meeks. I was like, I've seen that person commenting. I replied to him a couple times, and I clicked on it, and cards on the table. I was like, I don't watch a ton of YouTube, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'll look to some of this guy's videos, you know,
Yeah.
as a courtesy, but I didn't expect it. I watch his stuff now just for
His
fun.
style,
Yeah,
yes,
it's really good.
His style is like very unique on the platform because he has like a very soft spoken way of talking,
Mm.
but like most of the time, I think the YouTube algorithm punishes like people who don't talk really fast and like blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like he
Yell and repeat
one of my
themselves.
favorite videos that he has.
Yell and repeat themselves.
Thank you.
Um,
We just got a
Yeah.
100 view
Oh, we're gonna
boost.
go
Oh
up. We
my
did.
god!
No, he has a video called "Play Bad Video Games," and
Yeah.
I love it.
So that is
Such
such
a
a
Which
good video.
which
His video ideas are so good. I
Yeah.
always know of it. See, I have this theory about great ideas. If you see an idea and you go, "Oh, that's a good idea,"
Yeah,
it might be.
yeah.
It might be a good
Maybe.
idea, right? If you say, "Oh, that's not a very good idea," it might be a bad idea,
Right.
right? But you know something is a good idea if you see it and you go, "Dang it, I wish I thought of that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
If you and I see his videos and I go,
No,
"God
all
dang it,
the
I wish
time.
I had thought of that."
All the
Well,
time.
I have a,
His videos such good ideas, and his live streams so entertaining.
His live
I popped in
streams,
for a live
yeah.
stream once because I'm not a live stream guy when I'm like watching. That's not
No.
my form of entertainment because the long pauses, ADHD goes wild during those
Yeah,
moments.
I can't,
I logged into his live stream once, and I was like, "This is fantastic."
He's
This
the
is
only
so good.
He's the only live stream I've stayed for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It was he
It's
only
that
streamed for
slower
like an
way
hour
of
and a half,
talking.
but-
It's that slower cadence
Yeah.
that he can take a thought. And because he's not rushing to the end of it
No.
like every other live streamer, he can take a thought and it sounds like you're having a conversation. It's like
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's so easy to follow.
Now,
And it's like he's engaged with chat, and the thing he's doing is also good. I'm like, man, this guy is just. Why does he like our channel when he's out here
I know.
never missing?
Yeah.
now I have a question. Did hit YouTuber
Right.
Stevie Meeks, literally our only fan,
Yep.
did
He did subscribe when we had like
did he find us
17
while we were in the
subscribers.
morgue?
yes, yep. He found us like
How did-
episode. I think his first comment was like episode 4 or something.
Which was episode 1?
episode 8. Sorry. So,
Okay,
like
episode 8. Yeah.
The fourth
So-
one we posted.
So
So,
that's
yeah, he was-
incredible.
that was what was
That
weird.
somehow-
was the algorithm somehow threw it to him, and he stuck around.
And
That's
he has
shocking.
blown up since then.
Yeah, he has doubled.
Thanks to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got,
say,
the he got that power.
you're
He got the power
welcome,
up.
He got the power.
Stevie.
The power.
Oh no, it was our honor.
It was
Stevie.
our honor.
It was our honor to
I
throw
think
you
he's
that super
doubled
mushroom.
his subscribers since he.
Yeah,
since
he
then.
and he's
He
deserved
really
it,
took
dude.
off.
Like he is
absolutely.
like stepped his game up.
Yeah.
He's locked in, year of the grind style.
I also want to
Absolutely
say
knocked
that
it
he's
out
a
of the
good
park.
example for YouTubers because he's perfectly fine taking a break for a little while
Yeah.
and then coming back.
Well, I
He-
just
and, which I think is great. Like,
Yeah.
he has a great Discord. Go check out Stevie's
Yeah.
Discord.
well to put a cap on this point about Stevie Meeks.
right.
It should highlight. We should highlight that having one person who consistently went on these stupid videos and said,
I know. Yeah.
"Hey
surprising.
guys, great job this week,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would look through the comments just to see if Stevie Meeks had put something on there, and then I would put a mean comment about our podcast right under it
to like level it out.
to level it out.
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
did
was
get a lot of like encouragement
really
to
encouraged
keep
by
going
it.
sometimes when
It
I would
was a big
see
deal,
positive
yeah.
comments, and Stevie Meeks was at the top of that
Absolutely.
because like when I see
'Cause he
him
was
and
the
his
only
content is
comment.
good and getting better all the time,
Yeah.
and our content is getting better, I'd
Yeah.
like. It's a good comparison of like
Yeah.
this person's like going like, hey, stick with it, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well if they stuck
Mhm.
with it and they're telling me to stick with it,
Yeah.
I can stick with it. And
Another one that I'll shout out is Best Busami. I hope I said that right. They are always like really encouraging. They've been around since the beginning. We'll also just thank our friends and family. I think our first 15 subscribers were just people we knew.
Yeah.
Like we got them before we had a video
Super
out.
cool.
So thank you guys, friends and family that we all
You
love.
had no real choice,
Yeah.
but thank you anyway.
can we? How much time do we have more to reminisce? Because there's
Harrison,
one
how about-
last thing I
yeah.
want to reminisce.
Got about 9 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Plenty of time.
we started our podcast,
Right.
and the video game world was like, we're done making games for
It
right
was
now.
so quiet.
It was so quiet.
It
very
was so
quiet
But-
for a while.
During that time, lots of things have actually happened, right? The
Yeah,
Switch
yeah.
2 has come out in that time.
If you
right?
look at September
Is it-
2024 to September 2025, it might be the busiest year
yeah.
We've gone to the
gaming's
Game
ever had. Yeah.
Awards, and we've seen
Yeah.
big releases, but during all that time, the year we decide to make our podcast,
Yeah.
Microsoft slowly begins to melt.
Meltdown.
I know Xbox died.
It died.
It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
I say-
everything is an Xbox, and therefore nothing is an
Everything's
Xbox.
computer.
I said, it's like right in the middle of all this, right? Like as it all becomes clear that Xbox is dead, I famously said, Xbox looked at us right in the eyes and said, I don't feel so good. And
Yeah.
it crawled under the
That's
sink
one of my
and died.
favorite- yeah.
Right?
I'd like to
That
think we had a
happened
part
while
of that.
we were a
I know.
podcast.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I've been on this planet 35 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're telling me the moment I decide to make a podcast
We
with my
killed
brothers,
the Xbox.
Xbox dies in front of
It
us?
Yeah,
looks,
that-
that's the thing is it looks sus when someone walks in front of a
Yeah.
building and points at it and goes, "Man, this sucks," and then it just crumbles.
collapses
It
under the
collapses.
Yeah,
weight.
well, and
you
I
can say like, "Well, obviously they
Yeah.
were going to demolish it the whole time," but it's weird that
Yeah.
that timing.
and I remember
Yeah.
the vacation episode was the moment that I remember walking away from that and being like, Xbox is gone.
They're
dead.
cooked.
It's dead. It's
Yeah.
gone.
That was one of our first shorts that did really well, was when we were like, Xbox said that like making good video games won't lead to good sales. Can you try doing
Can you
that?
try
Like,
once?
How do you know?
But this is the
Try.
thing. We are all old
Yeah.
enough to remember when Xbox came onto the scene, right? And they were like, we're going to make bad video games.
Yeah.
And you're going to buy them because they're going to have guns and lasers
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
Like
And we were
also
like-
Halo.
And then Halo.
And then
Someone
Halo,
else
yeah.
made Halo, and it's really good.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing, is that they came onto the scene and just have been the most obnoxious
Yeah.
little guy in the corner. There is
Years
gaming
and
where there are
years.
like people trying really hard and all these artists and
Yeah.
these classics that are iconic, and then there's Xbox sitting up there just giving you the middle finger.
There's
constantly.
no more
No.
perfect like illustration of Xbox than if you look at the evolution of the three big gaming companies' controllers, right? Nintendo's doing all kinds of wacky stuff,
Yeah.
and Sony is like iterating. They're adding a touchpad and motion controls, and now they've got HD Rumble. And Microsoft has changed nothing but the shape slightly.
Yeah, I think a
Yeah.
third-party company released the Duke, the original controller. They didn't change anything, and it works fine on modern.
They've been doing this thing though, where they buy a game we all love
And
and
then
then not
tank
release
it.
it.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like,
Tank
"Hey,
it.
we
No
got a hold of Banjo
Banjo-Kazooie.
Kazooie."
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
They've
this
been doing
weird
that
thing
for
because
20
I actually
years.
think that the
That's
original
Microsoft's
Xbox, the original Xbox and the original or the Xbox 360, I actually have fondness for.
No,
Yeah.
I do too.
The problem is
Yeah.
that it was such an interesting thing because since then we've basically it's been like the moments leading up to an execution where like the
It's
Xbox
been real.
360 was done.
Yeah.
And then we all just watched
'Cause we looked at-
as Phil Spencer in chains walked up to a wall and was handed a blindfold and a cigar, right?
Yeah.
And then he had to look into the camera in his prison uniform
Yeah.
and say everything's at Xbox.
Here's what happened.
Yeah,
Literally,
it's terrible.
We went from the 360, right, to just they were like, we've got a new one, Xbox One, and it was just a big X, a big B, and then ONE, and we're like the X bone.
X-Bone?
Your
What a
bone.
time. What a
Did no
yeah.
one
Did no one
test
ask
this?
a 12-year-old what they thought of this name? Like,
Yeah.
And they're
It-
like, "Don't worry, we'll have the Xbox One S, so the X Bones,
The X Bones.
because that makes
Love
it
it.
better."
But,
it's just been wild.
yeah.
that, like they were this monolith that felt undefeatable.
Yeah.
Their bad actions just never seemed to catch up with them.
'Cause
Buying studios, they did capture and kill on all these tiny studios where they were just demolishing all this stuff and never using any of it.
Yeah.
All like there are great games on every Xbox console. So
Absolutely.
few of them are due to Microsoft's involvement.
Yeah,
Basically,
Xbox Game Studios has good games on PC, like Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves. We really enjoy that game. Honestly, Halo is
Halo's
still
good.
quite
Yeah,
good.
even
No,
new
lots
Halos.
of good. The thing
Lots
is
of
that
good
like
games.
developers,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but those are studios that like Xbox has bought. As a console, as like, why would you buy an Xbox? The answer
We
has been you wouldn't.
we did
You
a
wouldn't.
deep dive in this, so not really.
which
a
I love. Their
necessity.
solution was no one's buying an Xbox, and so they were like, "Let's have an ad campaign to tell them." Too bad you don't
You
want to buy
already own
Xbox. You already have them.
You already have 11.
bought
We
an
did a deep
Xbox.
dive into this when we talked about like what company has a net negative influence,
Yeah.
and we all kind of came to the same conclusion. It's Microsoft,
Except for me,
Like,
which said that all of them,
yeah.
all of them
There's-
are a net
When
negative.
just changed
Yeah.
the topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
they,
It's the
because
same thing.
they
Which
haven't
one?
like it's with the same thing with the controller. They haven't innovated in a way that other people have tried to raise the bar to catch up with.
Yeah.
They've lowered the bar, and everyone's tried to go as low as they can.
Yeah.
And it's been weird watching them finally actually like oh my god, the consequences of my actions have caught up with me, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that was a thing that could happen.
No.
It happening while we have a podcast where we talk about video games
Is a
was
dream
wild.
come true.
Because
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, we had these kind of conversations for years.
For years.
Right.
We've always sat around talking about video games all the time.
Yeah.
We have never watched Microsoft slowly
Yeah.
melt into a goo. Right?
Well,
We've never had that happen.
no.
So, would you all say?
Yeah.
In fact, I'm just going to ask: would you all say that this podcast has gone far? Would you all say that for me?
A
Can you
year?
just
Yeah.
No. Can you say the sentence? This podcast has
I
really
think
gone
this
far.
this podcast has gone really far, you guys.
I
don't
think
think
it's gone
it's
I'm
so
gonna say you didn't go far enough.
my gosh,
no.
Because
No.
this podcast deserves tens of thousands of subscribers and $1 million
tens of thousands.
every month on our patreon.com, which is patreon.com/powerupbros.
Good job.
I think that we didn't go far enough with it.
though, talking about
To go a
appreciation.
little further.
To go a little
to get
Thank
far
you,
enough.
thank you.
Is our subscribers, all 175 of you guys. Thank you guys for
So rad.
subscribing. I honestly, when we were first making it, actually when we were on that vacation, we were flipping out that we got 30 subscribers. We were like,
That's crazy.
holy cow.
Mhm.
145 later. Thank you guys for being here.
It really has been awesome because I say this all the time. I say the kind of as a little bit of a joke, but it's like we're small enough that we'll actually respond to your comments.
Yeah, we actually see it.
I love small YouTube for that reason.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the space that we're in as we're growing is that we still do have enough like proximity where we can engage them. It has been a delight.
I have no love of YouTube or of video games, and I only somewhat tolerate the people in this room. But I love money. Okay,
Of course.
and when
Which
Devin
you get none from this
when Devin
whole year of nothing,
when Devin came to me and he said, "Let's do a podcast,"
Right.
and I said, "That's the thing where Alan Alda talks to Yo-Yo Ma." We've established this.
Yep.
He then said it was a video podcast, which I was like,
Right.
isn't that a talk show? He
Kind of
said
is.
the word, he was standing on my doorstep in the rain. He said the words Patreon money.
Yeah.
Okay? There has been no Patreon money.
0.
I don't care
Which is
if
proof that you're a
there's-
chump because you've been here the whole
the
time.
whole
That's
time
right.
they've been dangling this little dollar bill in
Yeah,
front of
that's
my
true.
face.
Sometimes literally.
Literally,
literally.
here's the point.
That's how he gets here every day.
140 subscribers. How many?
175.
175
Quentin's
subscribers.
not even on YouTube.
If just each of you give us one,
Just each of you.
if just each of you give us $1,000.
They can't. That's not a tier on the subscriber. On
Well,
the
make it as
Patreon.
a tier. It's $1,000.
Now, if you
$1,000
to be clear,
we'll be
despite
able.
everyone 4 people in this room are thankful for you subscribing. If you want to join the Patreon, join it. We think it's got cool bonuses.
Yeah, do it.
And we want to talk about your topics.
That's right.
Please go check out the Patreon.
Join the
Please do.
Patreon.
More than anything, guys,
Or
just thanks
else.
for being here. It's so
Yes.
cool that you're here.
It
We
is.
love having you guys
Absolutely.
here. Love reading your comments. Thank you to all my brothers that are here. This is such a fun podcast.
You're welcome.
You know what? Big round of applause.
You're not welcome. I was given I was told Patreon money, and you have
Yeah.
not provided,
Thanks
sir.
for being a chump.
Big
And
round of
coming
very
anyways.
quiet microphone approved applause to Devin for
Oh,
editing
yeah.
videos
I
for an
myself.
entire
For a
year.
year by
Honestly,
himself.
it was fun. It was fun to learn, fun to be a part of it.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
He also
we
didn't
are
get any
all very
Patreon
grateful
money.
Yeah.
for the amount of effort that you specifically have put into making this happen.
Sure.
The last year has been good for all of us in a whole lot of ways.
Yeah.
But has been busy in a whole lot of ways
True.
Yeah.
for all of us. And you've gone the extra mile, man. Just
Yeah.
absolutely
Glad to do it.
super glad.
Glad to do it. Guys, thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
Yeah.
Love all you guys. Love everybody in this room more. Sorry, family, friends, long time, but still love you guys. You guys are doing great. And some of your family and friends. So I also
the vast majority.
And also, if you subscribe to the Patreon, I'll love
Yeah.
you more than family and friends.
My wife is
So-
watching, so the person I love most is actually
She
out
doesn't
there.
watch this.
There's
Yeah,
no
I
way
know,
Rachel
I
watches
know.
this.
But thank you guys for
podcast.
being here. See you next week.
See you
We'll
next
see
week.
then.
For part 2.
Part two.
Part 2. Part 2.